Hey everyone, it's me, Ari Dawson, Rashid. I'm an anthropologist and zoologist. Thank you for being here. Please hit the like button, share this live stream, subscribe to the channel, become a member of the channel. You can check my novels on Amazon, and please donate the links below. Thank you very much. All right. Um, First, let me check if you can hear me clearly. Let me look at. Let me check that first. Hold on. Okay. Let me go to my. No, that's the wrong thing. An ad. I need to go to my profile. Yes, you should be able to hear me clearly. Okay, that's good. Let me put this tablet back over there. Let's see Maria Garcia. Say hi, Maria. And before I continue, how are you all doing today? All of you who are here, how are you all doing today? Let me know in the live chat, please. Let me know. How are you all doing today, or tonight, or this afternoon, wherever you are? For me, it's evening already. It's 20:09 or 10:09 p.m. here in the Hague, Netherlands. Oh, by the way, if you're driving a car in traffic right now, pay attention to the road. Don't type in a live chat, please. No traffic accidents on my watch. Thank you very much. Okay, I finished. I cooked today some red curry with chicken. I ate with some nice salt avocados. After a nice dinner and some pudding, I thought to myself, let me do another live stream. Now I want to continue on the part of cold cases. And why do I want to continue to talk about cold cases? Is because I want you to realize the following. Cold cases reveal a lot about not only community, but the generation where it happened. Yes, we have to think in terms of generations. A generation is 20 years. Everyone born within the same range of 20 years can be considered a generation. Now, generation often divided into political developments. For example, you had the baby boomers, you had generation X, then you had the millennials, Gen Z, Generation Z, and Generation Alpha. Yeah, so generations are divided by political developments. There's nothing wrong with it because every political development affects a certain generation. Look, the generation during the Second World War, they have a different experience than the generation was born after it. And the generation that grew up with social media from the time they're little children, that's Gen Z, Generation Z, has a different experience than my generation, the millennials, who saw the development of social media upcoming. So generations are divided between the political and societal developments that happen, okay? Nevertheless, generations affect the next one, okay? It's not the other way around. We who are alive today are affecting life for those who will be born later in the future. That's how it's always has been. The live streams I'm making right now, there are people who still have to be born years from now, and maybe 30 years in the future, they'll see these videos and say, "Whoa, this is a good lesson." Okay? The prophets of old, they documented things for us, and thousands of years later, we can the people who've been born throughout thousands of years all benefited of them. Okay? Now, every generation has opportunities because the babies are born, they're new human beings, and they're capable of doing a lot in life. I mean, if the parents were messed up, well, they can make it right by raising a proper child now, whatever. So, or let's say someone's an orphan, they can be adopted by a wealthy family, or someone was able to look after them, and things can be better. So every generation has opportunities, absolutely. Okay. Unfortunately, every generation also has its scandals that they're hiding. And court cases reveal the scandals each generation is hiding. Okay. So I'm from I'm a millennial, as you would call it. I'm from the generation millennials, the late millennials. Okay, I was born 1991. From which generation are you? Let me know in the live chat. If you don't know it, you can look it up online. But let me know from which generation are you, so I know the demographics for watching the video live now. Now, if you're watching this in the future as a replay, you cannot answer because you're not doing the live right now. But for those who are live right now, let me know which generation you are in the live chat. Thank you very much. No, this is good. So let me know in the live chat for which generation you are. If you don't know what generation you are, you can look it up on Google with your date of birth, and you can also go which generation does their date of birth fall into. You'll understand later why I asked you which generation you're from. Maria is from Generation X. Anyone else from Gen X over here? Maybe some Gen Zs over here, or millennials. Anyone? But anyway, because what I'm about to do now is I want to look at cold cases from the baby boomers, the Gen X, the millennials, Gen Z. I just want to show you how cold cases reveal whatever each generation wants to hide. Now, often it's a similar thing. Again, because neglect is neglect, it happens every generation. But just know, cold cases are also political. That's why they're cold cases, because people don't want them to be solved, because once those cases are solved, it's going to have a political impact people don't want. Okay? So for now, mention a cold case for your generation, please, in the live chat. You can go on Google and check if you want, but mention a cold case for your generation, please. Okay? And we're going to look at it, see how far you can come. Okay? Everyone over here, mention a cold case, one or two, for your generation. All right? I'll wait. God is good. Hold on. Got a little piece of mango over here. Long. Any cases? If necessary, I'll look up for a few myself. Mm, I'm looking here too. Okay, I got a few over here. What about you all? You have your cases for me? I got a few over here that we can go to. Okay, but I'll give you 1 more minute to come with the case. If you guys are coming with the case within a minute, I'm going to use the case I selected over here. You know what? I'm going to start with a case over here. If you find any, let me know in the live chat. Then it's even better. Hold on. Hmm. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, can you all see my screen? I want to be sure you can see it. Hmm. So I'll give a case over here. I will look it up very soon. Okay, well let's start with this one over here. Terra Lake Calisa. I think it's a famous one. How many of you heard of this case before? Terra Lake Calisa. Hope I pronounce it well. Or is it Calico? Okay, right on time, Aaron. We're about to start up with a cold case now. Okay, she Calico. Okay, thank you very much for mentioning that. Okay, so she was born on the 28th of February, 1969. So that would make her a baby boomer, I believe. No, no, or Gen X. Anyway, it was born in New Mexico, United States. A female, European American, white scholar of law. We don't do that over here. And there's a reward of $10,000 for who has some information. And before we continue, anytime the authorities are offering a monetary reward for information about the cold case, that is an indication that it has become political. Okay? I want you to notice down for yourself. Anytime the authorities, whether it's the police or the federal government or some maybe not the authorities directly, or sometimes it's a foundation assisted by the police. Anytime they offer monetary rewards, especially high monetary rewards for information about the cold case, you know it's a political matter. That's the first thing you need to realize. So let's go to the case. Let me see if I can find some newspaper articles about it. Um, nah, it's decades ago. I'm not sure if. Let me see. Okay, this will be interesting. This one too. Okay. Um, no, I don't have to show this one over here. Let's read this. After 34 years, a woman's disappearance haunts loved ones. Okay, disappeared in 1988. She was seen lost seen riding her pink mountain bike. A high school friend believes she knows what happened to Tara. Okay, fiance admits to woman admits to draining her bank accounts. Oh no, that's something different. Let's read this case, and please, while I read the case, let me know in the live chat what you think is suspicious about the case. Okay, so listen to me reading the case, and I want you to analyze while I'm reading and mention in the live chat immediately anything that you think is suspicious. Is this clear? That's my assignment for you right now. I'm going to read the case from these sources, and please let me know immediately what you consider suspicious about this case. I don't care if you're right or wrong. Just let me know in the live chat, okay? And then we'll discuss it. Is this clear? All right. Let me make this bigger. Tara Calico went on her usual bike ride on the 20th of September 1988. But the 19-year-old college student never came home. Over the years, authorities have offered rewards and investigated countless leads and tips, but there are still no answers. One mystery has perplexed the state of New Mexico for more than 3 decades: the case of a college student who went on a bike ride and never came home. Calico left her house in Belen, New Mexico at around 9:30 a.m. wearing a white t-shirt, gold, by the way, this is how you write t-shirts in the United States, but anyway, gold hoop earrings, and white shorts with green stripes. She was riding a neon pink Huffy mountain bike. Calico was last seen on Highway 47 in Valencia County, where witnesses saw a pickup truck following closely behind her at a slow speed. Calico told her mother to come pick her up if she wasn't home by noon, and the mother sounded the alarm when she couldn't find Calico on her bike route. Melinda Esquivel is one of Calico's high school friends. She spent years investigating the case on her own time. My team and I have already solved it, Esquivel told News Nation. She and Calico met in high school marching band. She was a lot of fun. She liked to have fun. She liked to laugh. She was just lucky at the time, really doing what young girls at that age do, Esquivel said. As was said, she never fully processed the trauma of losing a friend until 2008, on the 20th anniversary of Calico's disappearance. Her mother sent her an article about the case. I just burst into tears because it all came back. It just stuck with me that after all this time, they didn't know what had happened, she said. Now, Esquivel is working on a docuseries and has a podcast on what she dug up on Calico's case. She says that Valencia County Sheriff's Office gave her the chance to go through Calico's case files, which she says she organized and digitized, working with professional private investigators and offering up her own findings to police. But after all these years, Esquivel isn't satisfied with how her friend's case has been handled. There are sources that I spent years developing and gaining trust with, and a lot of that was broken, Esquivel said. Lieutenant Joseph Rowland with the Valencia County Sheriff's Office was assigned to the case in 2016. He says he's been in regular contact with Calico's sister, Michelle, as both of Calico's parents are deceased. Rowland said outside help on the case has brought mixed results. Does it help or does it hinder? The answer is it does both. Any information is better than no information, Rowland said. Okay, before I continue, is there anything you consider suspicious already? Let me know in the live chat. I'm about to read your comments. Hold on. Okay, let me see. Okay, you can still hear me. That's good. Let me put the screen back up again. Aaron said reward offered with no answers. Okay. Then said, so you know the color that she was associated with her, but didn't give the color of the pickup truck? Truck slowly behind her. Okay, that's suspicious indeed. Okay, let's read further. He said public trust in law enforcement was tarnished because of a local theory that the sheriff in 1988 was part of a cover-up. Online sleuths claimed that the son of former Sheriff Lawrence Romero was involved in Calico's disappearance. Romero and his son have since passed away. And Rowland said the theory was formally investigated and never proven. The main source of the rumor was a local man who told the deputy he believed his neighbor might have a makeshift grave in his basement. Some people claimed the man was referring to Romero Jr., although Rowland said that wasn't the case. Police did investigate 3 locations with ties to Romero Jr., including a basement, the area under a local bar, and a pond by a quarry where he worked. He was a kid involved in drugs, partying, drinking, and his father was a sheriff. Interesting combination. And he had the persona of, well, my dad is sheriff, so I can do whatever I want and I won't get in trouble, right? And kind of went around town with the attitude that he owned it or he could do whatever he wanted. That's the impression that I received from community members, Rowland said. Rowland said that he has been working to clear up any misinformation. I have no dog in the fight. Wherever the facts are going to lead, I'm going there, he said. It's not the only theory that surfaces online. About a year after Calico's disappearance, a Polaroid was found in a Florida parking lot, appearing to show a young woman and a little boy tied up in a van. Many people, including Calico's mother, believe she was the girl in the photo. Analysts have never been able to tell for sure who's in the picture, and Roland said the photo itself may not even be real. Well, let's look up that picture right now. Okay. I hope I get a good resolution. Okay, I think it's a good resolution enough. Let me see. Um, okay, so it was a picture of Calico herself, and this was the Polaroid image was found somewhere in Florida, and the parents claimed that this is their daughter, but people were never fully able to verify it. Yeah. Okay, let me read further. Okay, where was I? Okay, here. When a lot of the little details that are in that photograph do not point to an abduction. It's more of a gag photo, he said. Roland said misinformation about the case has spread online, including a rumor that Calico's Walkman containing her Boston cassette tape was found, potentially giving law enforcement information on where was last seen. Calico's parents circulate information about that supposedly evidence, which Roland said was inaccurate. There was a cassette tape found on the side of the road. It has been exposed to the sun for so long that it distorted its color and degraded the cassette tape. So, not consistent with the cassette tape that somebody was listening to less than 24 hours before, he said. He also said some plastic found in the area was inconsistent with being part of a welcoming. The FBI has been involved in the case from day one. What? This is a bit weird. The FBI normally only gets involved if it crosses states' borders, and local law enforcement cannot handle it. Okay, but Special Agent Raul Barunda with the FBI's Albuquerque office declined to share specific information on the case. From federal perspective, we never want to go ahead and share any piece of information that might benefit those individuals that we're still trying to put behind bars to pay for the crimes they committed, he said. He also declined to say if he believes the case was solvable or if the perpetrators were still alive. In contrast to local law enforcement and Calico's loved ones who believe the case can still be solved. One thing Roland and Escobar agree on is that the perpetrators are still alive and are likely local. This case is solvable, Roland said. Here we are 34 years later. I do not suspect that this case or Tara's disappearance will go unanswered for 36 years. Okay? We're almost done. Esquivel believes she knows what happened. But okay, before we go into that, okay, let me go to your comments right now. Cold case because law enforcement would be tarnished. Okay, that's crazy indeed. An officer in my hometown. Okay, there's something one of my subscribers said. An officer in my hometown raped an unconscious woman and got caught. A lot of officers commit crime and get away with it, and they think they can get away with it because they're police. Okay, and police help each other to cover it up to keep the reputation of their families intact. Everyone is suspicious, in my opinion. Okay, now, well, it happens in the world that police officers cover each other up. I mean, I'm not going to be naive over here. One thing that's a bit weird about this case is that, first of all, FBI is involved from day one. Okay, what did across state borders? Secondly, how come almost every theory is debunked, but local law enforcement nor the FBI can actually say what actually happened? Listen, when you have so much law enforcement involved in a case, 9 out of 10 times there's a cover up happening. Maybe not a cover up of the crime itself, but there is some type of scandal of the local community that's being covered up. Okay? Now let's continue reading first, man. Escobar believes she knows what happened. She was being stalked, that she had to turn down someone for a date, and they were not happy about it. Escobar said they started messing with her, asking her to go to a party, getting real close to her. You know, the boys were drunk and high, and they hit her and knocked her off her bike. We believe she took off running to the east. After that, Escobar said she thinks the boy sexually assaulted Calico, then killed her to prevent her from speaking out. Esquivel said that she herself has been threatened for speaking out. It started to put my life in danger. I started having threats. People were showing up at my mother's house. My niece came to me and told me that the guys that did it were really, really, really angry. And then if I didn't stop, someone would get hurt. And if I didn't stop, because if I still continued, someone would get killed, she said. Despite that, Esquivel wanted to keep shining a light on a friend's case. Roland said he still gets tips every couple of months, and new people have recently come forward, leading to new witnesses in the case. The number one mission has always been in this investigation to bring Tara Kalisa home. That remains the number one mission today. Yeah, 34 years later. He said a close second would be prosecuting those responsible for disappearance, but foremost, we want to bring her home to her family, which is long overdue. Yeah, you think it's long overdue? Okay, let's look up the place where this happened. Okay. Um, New Mexico. What's the name of the city again? Let me see. Oh wait, I can check it out over here. Um, okay, Bel Air, New Mexico. Okay, I'm gonna look that up. Just one moment. I'm gonna use is Bing Maps fine? Okay. Now let me use Google Maps. Maps.google.com. Okay, let me share the screen again. Okay. Berlin, I said. Berlin, New Mexico. That's what I saw over here. Let's see it's confirmed elsewhere also. Valencia County. Okay. So what we're going to do then also is go to check out Valencia County. Okay, this is Dutch. So I need to bring it to English. Okay. So this is allegedly the place where the disappearance happened in Berlin. Okay. Albuquerque is over here, the city above there. So it was a small, I won't say rural, but it was a small town over here named Rio Grande. And there are Native American reservations nearby. Okay. So now, what you do when you are looking at a cold case is you need to go to the location, see what's around. For example, in this case, it's not an important place. I mean, it's located at the river, but okay, I mean, Google it, there is what you can see a railway station over here. So that it had some relevance, but it's not a big place. It's near the river. As far as I can see, there are no river ports also. It's not in the middle of nowhere, but it's not really that well connected. So there's a location where often people have a village mentality. Almost everyone knows everyone. At least most families know one another. Okay? If it happened in a big city, you would have to look at which part of the city it happened in, what was going on around that time. That could have been scandalous. Okay, so okay, Berlin. Well, let me see. Oh, let's see over here. There's not much interesting over here. The racial makeup, no, not really that relevant. The town grew, the county grew a lot. That's true. Cities Berlin and the Rio communities. Let's go here. Mm, Nuestra Senora de Belén. Okay, I already thought that had a Catholic origin. 1740. Whoa, this was a Spanish settlement from during the Spanish Empire. Nice. I'm a fan of Spanish history, so okay. So let's go further. Recently in time to 1980s happened, right? So okay, there was a commercial conflict around the time. Not that that may have anything to do with the case, but that's how you look at it. You need to check what was going on around that time. What could have been a scandal over there? And then there are two things possible. Either the whole kidnapping or murder or disappearance was a ritual set up by the local cults just to distract people from the actual scandal that was going on, or the violence itself is the scandal, and now people either did a remake of the city or the place or they demolished certain things just to cover it up. Hmm. Okay. Oh, I know which cold case you're talking about. It's another cold case that I talked about on this channel before that. I know which one you're talking about. But that's how we look at it. Now, seeing the context of this town, Berlin, okay? Former Spanish settlement, then became incorporated in the United States later on. There was some commercial conflict with some company in the 1950s. Now, she went missing in the late 1980s. Around the time the Cold War was ending also. Um, what do you guys think is going on here? Was there an actual scandal in the city that they tried to cover up, you think? Or was this just lost going wrong and now everyone's acting like nothing happened? What do you think it is? Let me know in the live chat. What do you guys think this is? Okay. Authentic and program says loss gone wrong, cover up. Well, this happens a lot in the world, unfortunately, that loss goes wrong. Okay. Does anyone else think differently? Again, there are no right or wrong answers over here. Okay. Though let me give you my anthropological insight in this case over here. So this picture was from somewhere in Florida, right? Okay, now let's look further. The town is all the way. You know what? Let me get exact location where possible. Hold on. Florida. In a Florida parking lot. Okay, but which parking lot? Um, Let me see if someone else, somewhere they can say the exact location. But you know what? Let's just do Florida then. The route, Berlin to Tallahassee. I'll just take up a random case in Florida. Tallahassee, Florida. It's a bit at the edge of Florida in the north, near the border. So okay. So this is Berlin in New Mexico, where the disappearance happened, and this is Florida right over here. Also used to be a Spanish province, by the way. But anyway, So we don't know where in Florida it was found, but let's say now, for argument's sake, somewhere in the north of Florida, like in Tallahassee. How long does it take to drive from Belen all the way to Florida? Even if you take the shortest route, it would at least take you a full day. And that is if you don't have any hinder on the road. Now, back then it was the 1980s, so I don't expect the US roads to have changed that much over time, but it's still a long location to drive to. Okay? Big distance. What would be going on in Florida? Now, when it comes to crime, Florida, namely Miami, is a gateway for criminals from Latin America. Because crossing the US border, at least back then, it wasn't considered that easy. Well, today, the borders crossed illegally so often, but back then it was a little bit different, even though they were quite close to the Mexican border. So, if this picture over here is a real picture, some say it's a gag picture, it's just people having fun. I'm sorry, but does this look like people having fun to you? Does this look like people just having fun making a picture like this? A little boy with a teenage woman over there in a bit of a sensual position with a boy in the background. That doesn't seem like a gag picture. People are having fun over there. Okay? And she looks quite similar to this one over here. Listen, if someone would picture like this for fun, I would call the police myself and report them. Anyone making such pictures for fun, I'm sorry, you have a sick mind. You need to be arrested. But did they ever identify who took the picture? Who reported to the police? Nothing. So what comes to my mind is human trafficking or organ harvesting. Now, organ harvesting is a bit it's a bit far-fetched because little children, they're I mean, full-grown organs sell better on the black market than tiny organs of children. Okay, her body will be worth millions on the black market. Her body parts, I mean. So that would be, but for the little boy, I don't know. So the other thing comes to mind is just human trafficking. You have cults that kidnap people and use them for ritual victimization, ritual sexual victimization to generate trauma for evil spirits. And afterwards, they would kill them off, drain their blood, and dump them somewhere. Such cults exist. And the United States is a very big place and where a lot of these weird cults are happening. Again, me personally, I don't think this woman's alive anymore. I think this woman has been gone for a long time. And that boy, that picture, if this picture is a real picture, which I assume it is, but again, it's alleged, this boy would be dead too. And I know that there are cults out there run by Europeans who believe in this European white supremacy bullshit, and they often victimize their own, especially their own women, to Odin. Yes, Odin worshippers tend to do stuff like that, harming their own European women. So that is what I expect to be the case over here. I may be wrong, like I am, but just putting it out there. But again, the fact that this picture was out there and there was no public revolt openly to figure it out to the bottom, nah, I can't accept that, y'all. But anyway, anyone else wants to mention any remarks about the case, what they feel, what they pick up about it? Maybe you did a spiritual inquiry while listening to me talk about this case and you have some insight you think you have. By the way, it's nothing is proven here. It's just you share what you pick up. We're not fortune tellers over here, okay? We are believers using our spirit abilities to glorify the Heavenly Father. So anything you picked up, you can share it in the live chat now if you want to. Meanwhile, I'm going to look for another case. Authentic human programming. That's one of the viewers now. Mention a case over here. Let me go to it. Co Paisley. Woman, female, age 30, if I'm correct. Hmm. Indeed, Aaron. The lieutenant was quite confident, a bit way too confident, if you ask me. But okay, let me go to the other case. Now I'm going to remove all of this over here. And let's see. Cole Paisley. Oh, by the way, authentic human programming. Is this the case you talk about this woman? Let me know if I have to write Cole Paisley, please. Okay. So it's a lot that has been said about the case, but okay, let's start over here. Cole Caroline Paisley, 1965 and 1994. From the Miami-Dade Police Department Homicide Bureau Cold Case Squad. Location 1223 Wallace Street, Coral Gables, Florida. Okay, let me just look that up immediately. I love when they're exact locations. Okay, let's. Whoa, this is in a occupied area, or maybe back then it wasn't that occupied. Okay, let's go deeper. Okay, this 3D, right? So let me just move it around. So this is the place right over here. This house here. There's a street. This seems like a well-off neighborhood, or I may be wrong, but okay. Let's go further over here. Where was it? Okay. Date and time 3:29 p.m. on Wednesday, August the 3rd, 1994. Above. Okay, hold on. Let me remove this. At the above time, date, and location, the victim was discovered unconscious inside a duplex apartment that she owned and was renovating. It was revealed that two wall air conditioning units were removed from the duplex and an attempt to remove a third was unsuccessful. It is believed that the victim may have interrupted a burglary in progress, and as a result, she was severely beaten and ultimately expired from the injuries she suffered. Co. Carol Caroline Paisley died of her injuries the next day. In some newspaper articles, Coe is, Coe is listed as 30, and others she is 29 years old at time for death. I have not been able to find her exact date of birth, hence the 1964 in the post title. Should you know her exact date of birth, please let me know so we can adjust the post. Update. Thanks to Carl M. We now have Cole's case date of birth, February 10th, 1965. Okay. Co-cast Co-Carolyn Paisley was the youngest of four children by parents Adelia and James Paisley. Co was raised in Key Biscayne. She graduated from Coral Gables High in 1982. After high school, she graduated a Pi Beta Kappa from Florida State University in 1984 and finished law school at FSU in 1987. In her law career as an attorney, she handled mostly child custody cases and helped people with social security issues. Okay. While digging around online for her exact date of birth, I found a marriage and divorce notice with her name. Okay. This is just an individual who will research it by themselves. So let me see if I can find an actual old direct page about this from the government. Okay, here it is. If they're hiding something, we will figure that out by the way they're phrasing it. Because remember, wizards have to show you what they're doing, even when they're lying to you. It's an obligation you get from Satan, or else you'll get in trouble with Heavenly Father. Lord have mercy, this thing is taking so long. Anyway, let me see if there's another government page over here. By the way, if you have any remarks or anything you pick up about this case while we're doing it, just let us know in the live chat, okay? Anyway, let me read further over here. The marriage between Coe and Andrew Stephen Late took place in 1988 in Florida, and there is a divorce date for 1992. The last name Late is in another article spelled as Late. I'm not completely certain it's the same Coe, so if you have any information about it, let me know. Okay? It's off. No, these are many cold cases. We only need that one case. No. Never mind, that's useless. Okay. So, let's read further. Assuming that it is indeed Coe, my question is whether Andrew has been eliminated as a suspect, not accusing anyone, but merely brainstorming as there is very little online. Many articles are just repeated content. Okay. Another red flag over here. This happened in 1994, correct? Internet wasn't really a thing back then. Okay, we get it. But this woman, she must have relatives who are still alive. Maybe her parents possibly already. We don't know. I mean, with the rise of the internet and many old cases getting attention, why is there not much to find about this case? I mean, even I typed it in Google and I don't get that many results. Okay, let me go to news to see if I get more. No, not much comes up. So, okay, let's read further. Retired Detective James McColeman from the, hold on, make this bigger, from the Miami-Dade police is quoted saying, "Our theory is that she surprised somebody at the residence. There were a lot of construction workers constantly in and around the house. McColeman thinks that Coe surprised a burglar who was set on stealing window air conditioner units and that she has seen that person before. If Coe knew this person, it makes sense that they didn't run away but fought with Coe to silence her. However, are those window AC units so precious that you are willing to kill for them? Those units were never found. Coe died of a blunt force trauma, which usually means being beaten with fist or with a heavy object. No weapon was ever found. In none of the papers I read is more information about her injuries, except that she died the next day at Jackson Memorial Hospital. I did find that Coe was on life support when her family arrived. She had already been declared brain dead." Now, okay, this is a bit weird over here. An AC unit, especially those old-fashioned ones, are a bit heavy to carry. Why would a burglar risk their lives breaking into a house just to get an AC unit? I mean, if you break into a house, wouldn't you go for the cash? Wouldn't you go for the jewelry? Wouldn't you go for maybe the debit cards, whatever? Wouldn't you go for anything that's more valuable? But okay, let's go through. The killer took Coe's burgundy leather briefcase and, of course, the two window air conditioning units. The briefcase was found by flood control workers who were dredging a canal at Northwest 132nd Street and on 20th Avenue near Opalokna. Inside the briefcase was Coe's identification, but nothing of value. Okay, let's look at this place. Go to look at it. No. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Let me go to this view. Okay, with the car, because United States, a majority of the people drive by car, not by public transport. The public transport is not as fast as it is here in the European countries. You take the bus or a car. So, okay, with a car, it will take you around a half hour to go to this other location over here. It's around here somewhere. Okay? And her place is down here. Wait, there's an airport in between. Okay? So the leather case was found. How many kilometers is this? Let me check. 17.2 miles. That's maybe somewhere around 21, 22 kilometers away or more. So you had a railway station and you had a airport and some railways, if I'm correct over here. And so railway also. This is like an industrial area almost. Oh, and here you have another airport. So her her leather case was found with her ID in it, but without any valuables near Opaloka. Oh, wait, am I right about this place? Hold on, I need to check this. Oh yeah, you have some more places over there also. Never mind. But for some AC units, I mean, if you want an AC unit and you live in a place with two airports, okay, let me go back. Wouldn't there be enough AC units to around, in all these places? Why would you need to steal it from some home over here that doesn't even bear any that has no significance in its own? Okay. The authorities hope that somebody saw the briefcase being thrown into the canal. Maybe at the time they didn't connect it to Coast murder. However, if they read about this case now, they might. There's contact information. She was an attorney, helped people with what she helped people with? Again, with child custody cases and people with social security issues. Okay, so this woman was, as far as we know, not politically involved. She was a grad student, became an attorney, working for the government, for the legal system. She had clients, she had to help. Some that may have been disappointed in her. And for some AC unit, she gets killed, and nobody can solve it. So let's look at here. Miami. Oh, no, no, no. Miami-Dade County. First, we'll look at this Miami-Dade County. Let me see. Aviation department. Okay, you have two airports and all that. We go to history. Is anything out there? Oh, there was a name change. Oh, that you should try it multiple times. Nah. Let's look at the schools she attended. Okay, so where is she? Okay. Florida State University. Okay. Okay. Okay, there are multiple locations. Let me look again. Phi Beta Kappa sounds like a sorority to me. Maybe she indeed went to, you know, okay, maybe she could have gone to university all the way up here. That's possible. Anyway, when you're dealing with a cold case, this is what I want you to learn. Okay, you read what happened, you look at the victim, you check the context of the situation, and you want to figure out what was going on around the time. And as I mentioned before, this is like a portal for criminality for Latin America. Now, as far as I could see, um, this one was not Hispanic or whatever, so that falls out of it. So, okay, what if it's true that air conditioners were stolen from a house? They have to be resold somewhere, like on the black market or whatever. Did they check any of that? They talk to some of the neighbors because impossible the people trying to break in and a neighbor so close as that, and the neighbors don't pick up anything. No. Where's it again? Let's go back over here. I know back then the things may have looked a bit different, but okay, let's zoom in. What the hell? Okay, let's do this again. Okay, you see this? How occupied the place is? Now let's turn around. A duplex place. Okay. You mean to tell me that the burglar is active and none of the neighbors notice anything anywhere? You got to be kidding me, y'all. No. Again, authentic human programming. One of the subscribers will suggest this case. Thank you for suggesting this case also. Even though not much of the case is available for some weird reason, what do you guys think is going on over here? Looking at the whole situation. Remember, it's in the state of Florida. Miami is a portal for criminality in Latin America. It is till this day. She was involved in law. She worked as an attorney. She dealt child custody cases. And you know, when it comes to child custody, you have all these couples with a lot of problems going on. Sometimes a woman doesn't want her ex-partner to see their children, and the legal system sometimes takes the side of the woman, and the man gets angry. So, looking at the whole situation, what is the most likely scenario you think happened over here? And why do you think they try to cover this up? Nah, don't worry about it. You chose at random, don't worry about it. Such case also important. A cold case is a cold case. So there's something being hidden over there. And the fact that there's such not much information about it is even more scarier. What do you guys think is the most likely scenario over here? I'm teaching you all to look at the bigger picture here. You know one thing is weird about this case? When cold cases happen, often there's a relative or a friend you went to school with or someone that knew the victim that later comes out in the media or on the internet saying, hey, listen, I used to know this individual. Do you guys have more information, please? Help us. Where are the calls of the relatives to solve this case? In many cold cases, you still have the relatives who are still alive pleading, begging for information. Please help us solve the case. Where are the relatives asking for answers? Where are the people she went to school with? Where were her fellow students? Where are her colleagues? It seems like people don't even want to talk about what happened. Maria says she was silenced. Okay. Okay, so they took the briefcase. The fact they took the briefcase means there was something valuable in the briefcase. Now, she was an attorney. Were there maybe files in it with court documents that someone wanted? I mean, a briefcase is what I don't expect jewelry or gold in a briefcase. Now, criminals sometimes put a lot of stacks of cash in briefcase, so that's a different thing. As far as we know, she wasn't involved in criminality. So there was either some court documents or some type of information in a briefcase that was that they were after, and they shut her up. So she knew something. She knew something, some embarrassment or scandal, like involved something legal she knew about, and people want her silence, want her gone. And they look for someone to actually do the dirty job. And as often happens in the world, they will find people willing to do the dirty job. And yeah, that's how it went down. That's how you need to look at these cold cases. What is missing here? What's missing is where are the people longing for answers? That's one thing that's weird. Second thing that's weird about this case is near industrial area over here. Um, and she worked in the for the legal system. So wouldn't the legal system be more than innocent to go after whatever happens? Mm-mm. Yes. Okay. Someone said it's weird how there's only mention of the briefcase and C units being stolen. Nothing else reported stolen. Okay, let me look this up for a moment. AC unit. This how AC units look like in the early 1990s. I'm sorry to say, but these things are a bit enormous and heavy. You mean to tell me people risk their lives breaking in, risking going to prison for these two things and a suitcase? Nah, get out of here, y'all. I don't believe any of that. Especially how silent they are about the case. So anyway, anytime you have a cold case, there's something's being hidden. And let me tell you, people around there, maybe not in the direct neighborhood, because 1994, we're already entered 2020, 25. Many people may have moved away, some people may have passed away, and all of that. But let me tell you, there are people out there from her peers who know exactly what happened, and they decided to remain silent about it. That's it. Simple as that. Okay. Any other case, you all? Select one for me. We're going into it. By the way, thanks for highlighting this case. It's not as spectacular as some of the other cases, but still, it's a case nevertheless because an actual human being that was murdered. So it's a sad situation. Anyone here have a case for me? Let me know in the live chat. I'll wait. After 2 minutes, if I don't find any case from you, I'm going to select one myself. But I'm going to give you all the chance. Give me a case from your generation, please. So understand this. In this live stream, I'm showing you that cold cases reveal that in that generation, there are people who are keeping things quiet. And let me tell you, cold cases are a public thing. So it could be your own parents know things that actually happened, but keep their mouth shut also. It can also be the case. Anyway, I got a new case here from Aaron. Let me look it up. Daniel Morgan. Please let me know. Okay. It will not be this Daniel Morgan, of course, but okay. After Daniel Morgan, I'm going to the ones that you sent over here, Merrim and Roland Hennel. Okay. Do you have any detail about Daniel Morgan case? Okay. Let me Oh, murder of Daniel Morgan. Is that the one, Aaron, you talk about? It's not this Daniel Morgan, this European guy over here. Oh, wait, it is him? Okay, okay. So let's look at the Guardian. And okay, okay. No, not to do with the painting. I thought so. But okay, let's go through it. And remember about cold cases. When I'm going through this case right now, I'm going to read two media pieces, not all of them, but a big portion of them, and I want you to analyze with me what you think is suspicious. If you if you hear something you consider suspicious, or you pick anything up, just let me know in the live chat. Okay? Thank you. Okay, let's read. Daniel Morgan killing. Family agrees. Met police settlement. The 9th of July 2023. That's last year. Okay, you said for extra info after this ABC article, I recommend type in byline times after its name. There were only ones digging deep into it. Okay, first we're going to read this over because it's an official thing from mainstream media. Okay. The family of murdered private detective Daniel Morgan has reached a settlement with Met Police 36 years after his murder. Mr. Morgan, 37, was found with an axe in his head in the park of a pub in Sydenham, southeast London in 1987. With an axe in the head, oh my god, yo. The Metropolitan Police had admitted liability for his errors and corruption and is paying undisclosed damages. What? No one has been convicted of the killing, which has led to 5 inquiries at a cost of some £40 million. Mr. Morgan's family believes he was about to expose police corruption when he was silenced. Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley apologized and admitted liability, saying the case had been marked by a cycle of corruption, professional incompetence, and defensiveness that has repeated itself over and over again. He added Mr. Morgan's loved ones had been repeatedly and inexcusably let down by the force since the beginning. They were given empty promises and false hope as 5 investigations failed and as the police prioritized its reputation at the expense of transparency and effectiveness. Whoa, 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 whoa. Just whoa. Am I reading this correctly? Okay. Let me read this one more time, please. Because I just want to make sure I'm not seeing things in there, okay? Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley apologized and admitted liability, saying the case had been marked by a cycle of corruption, corruption, professional incompetence, and defensiveness that has repeated itself over and over again. He added Mr. Monk's loved ones had been repeatedly and inexcusably let down by the force since the beginning. They were given empty promises and false hope as 5 investigations failed, as the force prioritized its reputation at the expense of transparency and effectiveness. I'm sorry, but they're already telling you here they covered it up. That's actually what they're saying over here. This is a formal confession. They covered it up in fancy words. An independent panel found in 2021 that the Met repeatedly covered up its failing to protect its reputation and was institutionally corrupt. The panel, led by Baroness O'Loan, said it was unlikely anyone would be brought to justice. What? Hold on, so let me get it straight. The police station that investigated the case has proven to be corrupt and incompetent. And they covered up their own failings to save their own reputation. So they covered up the crime for decades. And now, like, nobody's going to be brought to justice, okay, even if the police detectives of the day aren't alive anymore because they passed away, at least some institutional reform should happen. I mean, what about investigators over time who took on the case? They didn't admit anything? Wow. The commissioner's statement on the settlement said that no words can do justice to the pain and suffering that's been a feature of the family's lives for more than 3 decades as they fought for justice. The tenacious campaigning has exposed multiple and systematic failings in this organization. Wow. I've met with the family and listened to vivid and moving accounts of the devastating impact those failings have had on their lives. They have explained how their trust in policing has been eroded. The personal commitment I made to tackling corruption in his organization when I took over as commissioner has never been stronger. Okay. His body was found by a BBC sound producer. Hold on a minute. You mean to tell me he was found by someone working for mainstream media? Okay, that already sounds suspicious to me. His body was found by a BBC sound producer in the park of the Golden Lion pub. Okay, let me look this up. Let me look this up. Okay, maybe the pub doesn't exist anymore, so Sydenham. At least let me look at the city. Oh, oh, Golden Lion. Okay, it's a restaurant now. Oh, it's right over here. So let's look at location. Hold on. It's somewhere far in the southeast of London, as you can see, at a suburb, and there are a lot of there's quite some houses nearby. Okay, maybe it looked a bit different back then, but it's next to a big road over here. So okay, let me. All right, let me go back in the car park. Okay, let me see if there's a car park around. That would this right? This would be a car park, correct? Okay. Where he had met for a drink with his business partner, Jonathan Rees, on 10th March 1987. He was lying face up with an axe embedded in his head. Although a watch had been stolen, his wallet had been left, and a large sum of money was still in his jacket pocket. The pocket of his trousers has been torn apart, and notes he had earlier has been writing were missing. Hold on a minute. The pocket of trousers had been torn open, and notes he had earlier has been. Okay, let me get this straight. Okay, let me get this straight. By the way, Sydenham. Yeah, it is Sydenham. So okay, let me get this straight. Somewhere over here, the guy was found facing up with an axe in his head. His watch was stolen, but his wallet with large sums of money was still there. But they did search his pockets. So they searched his pockets, left his wallet with the cash alone, and but there were notes he took earlier that day that were missing. So the notes he was writing earlier, maybe were notes about a case he was investigating, whatever, were gone. So they only took away the watch to make it seem like it was just a robbery gone wrong. But if it was a robbery, why didn't they take the wallet and the cash with them? Okay. After his death, his business partner at Southern Investigations and local police officer Sidney Fillery went on to reposition the firm, selling police information to Rupert Murdoch's News of the World and to Mirror Group's titles. Mr. Morgan's family believes he was gathering evidence to expose corruption in the Met Police. Between 1987 and 2011, the Met and other forces arrested 67 people in connection with the murder. 8 of those arrested had been police officers. Speaking to BBC Radio's Force Today program, the family's lawyer, Raju Bhatt, said the 9 commissioners in the office since the murder had come to represent consistent failure of courage and integrity. He added, a perceived need to protect the organization from reputational damage has served only to nurture and encourage a culture of impunity. Whether or how Sir Mark and his senior leadership chose to face up to that sickness and translate the words of his apology into reality is his challenge. What the Met owes his family is a bit of gratitude for exposing a culture of impunity. The family and the police said the mutually satisfying terms of the agreement would remain confidential. So the police had to pay large sums of, so the government had to pay large sums of cash to the family for the failures. So let me get this straight. This private detective was making notes because he was investigating corruption with the police. He was found dead with an axe in his head, and the notes were missing. The wallet with the cash were there, but his wallet was gone. What his watch was gone. And as a result, for decades to come, there was corruption at play at the police he was allegedly investigating. And later on, a new commissioner had to apologize and admit there was a lot of corruption amongst them. I don't know how to say this. This case is kind of already kind of solved. I'm not saying it's fully solved, but we know what happens over here. This was a cover-up because likely there were police officers involved with crime or with corruption. He was making notes of it, and those police officers had their own people doing the dirty job for them, silencing him, and things continued. And it could be that local stakeholders in the community also don't want the name of the police to be smeared, so they can also be behind it. Maybe some police officers themselves were corrupt, maybe stakeholders in the community. Let's say you have a business in that place, and now it comes out that the police there is corrupt. Your business may suffer reputational loss also, and you may lose your clients and customers, you may go bankrupt. So it could be that some of the business folks nearby also wanted him gone. Well, obviously, he didn't operate by the power of the Holy Spirit. I'm not even sure if he was a believer or not, because he would have avoided this. But anyway, sad case. Uh, Now look, it doesn't have to be a famous case. I never heard of this case before. But my God, do we really have to look deeper into this case? We already know what's going on over here. We already know what the scandal is. And they attempt to hide this for more than 3 decades, y'all. Let it get through to you. For 3 decades, they were lying to the family, they were lying to the neighborhoods, act like they were solving it, but actually they were doing the opposite. And this was the local police. There was the government doing this. That means there were locals in on it too. Rupert Murdoch. Okay, I heard that name before. Okay. If you talk about Rupert Murdoch and things were sold to him, okay, that makes the case political. But anyway. Okay, Aaron says, and they were only forced in the settlement after increased pressure that made their corruption more obvious. So it's true, man. If the family members did not put pressure after 30 so many years to expose this, they would never come to a settlement. Aaron says, I'm from the UK, and this case was not mainstream news. It is on the official BBC website, but still kept under the covers. Okay, now that we're here, I need to explain the following to you all. When it comes to crime, there are two types of crimes. You have just incidents where things go wrong, but it's lust getting out of hand, they rape and kill someone, or whether it's some being opportunistic trying to rob someone. You just have incidents like that as crime. But then you also have crime rituals. Those are crimes conducted to get a hold on the public's psyche. Okay? And there are two types of rituals in crime. Take your notes, please. There are two types of rituals in crime. One is a ritual of silence in which you actually injure or kill someone to send a message to the community to stay silent or else you're next. And you kill the individual in such a way, horrible way, that everyone will get terrified. Oh crap, this guy was stalking or this woman was stalking. Look what happened to them. Such rituals, it doesn't always have to be murder. It can also be a gang rape, for example. Let's say you have a woman uh, who's not willing to get along with the relief of the masses, a woman who is quote unquote talk too much, exposing things, and now they silence her by gang raping her, and now all the other women in the community will know, oh crap, if we talk too much and don't mind our own business, the same may happen to us, and then we cover it up. So that's one type of crime ritual. It's a silencing ritual. Okay. The second type of crime ritual is a ritual that you do to gain sympathy from the wider public. So you have the silencing rituals in crime and you have the sympathy rituals. A sympathy ritual is a crime you commit in a ritual way with the use of gematria and all this other pagan stuff. And you make sure this crime is broadcasted both in mainstream media today with social media also. Social media, you didn't have it back then, but you have it now, so with social media, or you make sure you spread rumors around. The purpose of a sympathy ritual is to make people feel sorry for the neighborhood. Oh my God, it's horrible. We have a killer on the loose. Oh my God, there's a serial rapist on the loose. Oh, help the women over there. Look, so a sympathy ritual is politically motivated. Why? You do a sympathy ritual where you want people to feel sorry for your neighborhood or for your school or whatever it is, and you use this uh, generated sympathy to force another outcome. Okay, I'm going to I'm going to show you a sympathy ritual right now. I'm not going to talk about the case because I talked data before in another live stream, but this is sympathy ritual over here. What's it? Oh, Claudia. Okay, I talked about this case before of Claudia Lawrence. You guys remember I talked about the live stream about this case? About this chef at the university. She left for home, she disappeared, she was never found. And her mother, who used to be a mayor in the UK, her father, I believe, was an attorney. So there was a political background already, and this woman was a bit. She was not sexually exclusive. Let me say it like that to remain a bit honorable. She had a little bit of a loose lifestyle, which a lot of people were angry about. This case triggered a lot of sympathy, and because of the sympathy the public, the area got, people overlooked. Oh wait, I didn't share my screen. My bad. Okay. Here it is, Claudia Lawrence. Okay. This case brought a lot of sympathy, both to the location, to university, and all of that. And because of it, a lot of people overlooked a lot of other things that didn't end up about the neighborhood. So a sympathy ritual, you do that because you want the victim to be exposed to the public so that the exposure of the victim gets sympathy. And because of sympathy, people are now blackmailed not to call out bullshit locally. Now, I haven't figured out what the bullshit was they attempted to hide, but that's why I do a sympathy ritual. A sympathy ritual is a political move to hide local bullshit by having everyone focus on the sad story of this individual that went missing or was killed. And the Netherlands has a lot of sympathy rituals, let me tell you. Is the difference clear now between a silencing ritual, like the case we just discussed, and a sympathy ritual? Is the difference clear to you all? Let me know in the live chat. As a matter of fact, I want all of you to write down what a sympathy ritual is and what a silencing ritual is. Write down in the live chat, all of you, very shortly. Write what a sympathy ritual is, can also be 1 or 2 sentences, and write what a silencing ritual is and what a sympathy ritual is. Write all down in the live chat, please. I want to see if you got it. Okay? Write all down in the live chat. By writing it down yourself, you'll remember it also because you're participating. Write down in live chat what a sympathy ritual is and what a silencing ritual is. Please, everyone, write it down. Unless you're driving a car in public. In that case, stay hands-free. I'll wait. And after you do that, we're going to the last case of today, and that's the case that that is this case over here. But for now, everyone write down in the live chat what a sympathy ritual is and what a silencing ritual is. I'm going to wait for 1 minute. Everyone write it down, please. Thank you very much. What is good all the time? I'm about to hydrate myself for a moment. All right. Let's see. Aaron wrote down sympathy ritual is gaining sympathy from the wider public using things like gematria and then using the general sympathy to force another outcome. Absolutely. Okay. And silencing ritual, anyone? Oh, and by the way, sympathy rituals are easier to discover. Why? Because first of all, the victim is broadcasted everywhere, so you know you're more likely to know about it. But one thing about sympathy ritual is eventually the victim role of the locals will go too far, and you're going to get uncomfortable. Think, okay, that goes a bit too far now. I'm sorry, but Maria, there's no meaning to feel comfort or compassion for someone when it comes to silencing rituals. Silencing rituals is all about silencing the public. Nobody talks about this. Just need to correct you. Okay, let me go to the case that we're about to discuss now. Maram and Roland Hennel. Okay. Roland Hennel. Oh, you have the police case over here, which is good. Okay, that's not a lot of information. Let me see what the media is saying about it. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, someone says sympathy rituals for gaining sympathy from the public to support intended political outcomes. Yes, some rituals is to hide corruption in the public. Yes, absolutely, that's it. Let me see. The mirror couple. Okay, this is a bit weird. Okay, let me undo Ronald Hannell, see if I can find anything. News. Okay, Merriam Handle, news. What the hell? Okay, this is going to be interesting, guys. Let's read from the Vermont State Police. Grandin Road, J, Vermont. 49-year-old male and 32-year-old female, husband and wife, Vermont State Police Major Crime Unit, case number, okay. Merriam and Ronald Handel were last seen alive at the residence on the 13th of September 1984 at 7:30 p.m. They were found deceased at their home on the 20th of September 1984. Okay. Oh, my bad. I didn't share my screen. Okay. They were both victims of a shooting and their deaths were ruled a homicide. Okay, here's the couple. The man was 49, the woman 32. Okay. Age difference of, let me see, 10, 17 years age difference. So maybe he used to be a teacher, someone senior to her. We don't know. But okay, so they were lost in alive on the 30th of September, and a week later, a neighbor of theirs was a friend, found them dead. Okay, so let's Grandin Road, J, Vermont. Let's look that up. Oh Lord, have mercy, oh. Close to the Canadian border. Okay. This is just a road over here. Now we don't know which house it is because this road is a bit long, as you can see, all the way over there. Or it could be one of these houses over here. Still don't know which one it is. Anyway, we can assume it's one of these houses over here. I don't expect things to have changed that much around there. But still, let me look further in this. There should be more articles discussing this. True Crime New England, okay. Unsolved Vermont. Let me look. Oh no. You know what? There's a newspaper article from back then. Let's go through this and we check what this researcher wrote down, shall we? Again, when there's not much to find about the case, or when a lot of people ain't making public effort for the case, that also says something. Okay, Unsolved Murders Baffle Authorities by Lois Webby. One of the most shocking murders in recent years was that of 80. No, there's something else. Oh no, there's something else. Last September. Okay, so this was from back in the day. Roland Handel, 49, and his wife of 3 years. Marin, 32, his wife of 3 years. So they were not married for that long. So she was 29 when she married him, and he was 46. So they would have met earlier than their marriage wedding date, so they knew each other for a while. Were found shot to death in their J chalet. Roland Handel was found in the living room, lying on his stomach. His wife was in the kitchen on her back. Each had been shot 8 to 11 times. Whoa, Lord have mercy. They had been dead for at least 24 hours before they were found by a friend. Okay, so the friend, no, okay, they were, So the friend may have heard some noise or whatever, and he came to look. Because, okay, let me tell you what my suspicion is. Jay Shellett. Okay, let me see if I can find because listen, if it's a neighbor and his house are so separate from one another, then maybe he didn't hear the sound of the bullets. And if he didn't hear the sound of the bullets, how come he came right on time to find him deceased? It's a bit, you know what I mean? It's a bit odd. So according to the news article, it's the one the house over here. But okay, let's continue. Police said there were no powder burns, indicating that the couple had not been shot at close range. Roland Hannell has been shot in the chest, stomach, head, arms, legs, and back. His wife, a Canadian citizen, had gunshot wounds in her chest, both arms and her stomach. Police at first thought, okay. Now, when you read it like this, guys, what goes through your mind? What do you pick up about the wider context of the situation? Please let me know in the live chat. Let me know. What do you think? I want to read your thoughts before we continue. What First of all, what do you pick up from the wider context of the situation? Let me know in the live chat. One thing that got through to me is that, hold on a minute, they were not shot at close range. So the individual that shot them knew how to shoot from afar. Question: was it a hit? A paid hit? We're not going to presume too much over here, but if you can live in one of these remote houses over here with a lot of property around, you are a bit financially, you're a bit well off financially. Was it this house? J Chalet? Okay, maybe it was. We don't know. But anyway, I mean, you're not poor if you can afford the taxes and things of this place. Was it that um, they owed someone a debt and it got paid back, or was there anything they were involved in? We don't know. But this alone is disturbing. Now let's continue. On the 20th of September 20th of 1984, the small town of Jay, for a month was met with tragedy. A couple well known for their love of skiing, fitness, and a healthy lifestyle was found murdered in their chalet. Roland Handel, 49, and his wife of 3 years, Miriam, 32, were discovered by a close friend who decided to visit the couple. Miriam was found sprawled on her back in the kitchen, while Roland was found in the living room on his stomach. They both had suffered from roughly 8-9 gunshot wounds each, which were littered along their chest, extremities, and head. Initially, the timeline of this crime was messy and unclear. The medical examiner working the case determined that the pair had been dead roughly 24 hours when they were found. One neighbor reported seeing Roland about 6 days before the murder. A gas station attendant and a customer reported seeing the couple on the Wednesday night before the Saturday discovery. A close family friend claimed that Miriam had missed a dentist appointment earlier that week. Even though the medical examiner could estimate when the couple died, there was no definitive answer. In addition to question about the time of death, there was uncertainty as to why someone would murder the couple. Theories were thrown around like crazy, digging in on random parts of the lives of Roland and Maran. For example, the pair owned a boat that was kept in Florida, and some speculate this could be a vessel on which they trafficked drugs. Okay, there's a something called the J Chalet now that's being rented. I'm not sure if this was their actual home where they lived back then. Okay, let me see if I can get a street view. No, no street view available. But anyway, they live close to the Canadian border, and the wife was a Canadian citizen also. They owned a boat all the way in Florida. Okay, the north of Florida to their house. That is 1,112 miles at least, or 1,790 kilometers. Okay, let's go there to, hold on, let me look for the closest part in the north of Florida. One moment. Along with taking with a car. Let's just they went to Jacksonville. Okay. According to this, according to the modern day map, it would take 19 hours of travel. Now, of course, you stand away, but at least it would take at least a day or 2 days to drive this. Okay. Or you have, or the bad thing is take an airplane, or maybe they were more south of Florida. We don't know. So there was this suspicion of them trafficking drugs. But there's a difficulty with this. If you have a boat in Florida that traffics drugs, the drugs are transported by the criminals, the drugs are sold, and now the cash is transferred onto you. Are they transferring the cash by post? If you mail the cash, it may be intercepted by the police, and the police may arrest you. If you put them on a bank account, you can do that, but now you need to explain how you made the cash. You know, if you launder the cash. So it's a bit of a big operation to have a drug trade so many miles, so far away from home. So it's a bit unlikely. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's a bit unlikely. Okay. Okay. There was there was never any link to any illegal dealings. Additionally, some theorize that due to Maran's involvement in Munich, Germany, during the 1972 Olympics, she may have been targeted by Israeli secret police in relation for a terrorist organization that made some moves at the time. Wait, hold on. 1972 Olympics. Oh, there was a massacre that happened back then called the Munich Massacre, part of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. That's true. 17 died, including the 5 perpetrators. Um, thing is, why would? Okay, she was involved in Munich at the time. What was she doing in Munich at the time as a Canadian citizen? Or maybe she just worked at the Olympic Committee over there, whatever, we don't know. Wait, so you mean to tell me that the Israeli secret police suspected her of being involved in this crime, and now they took matters in their own hands? I mean, okay, if that's the case, that's a political matter. If the state of Israel just killed a foreign national in the United States like that, I mean, come on now. But people from the state of Israel, I mean, a lot of these people at top that run the state of Israel, I suspect them of going that far. Look what they're doing now with the Gaza genocide, by the way. To this day, the case remains unsolved. Many theories have been questioned and followed up with, and only to lead to dead ends each and every time. Questions of Roland's character have come up and have been debunked over and over again. Character. The case gets publicity every so often, but the community and the rest of the world is quickly sliding away from ever finding the truth about this heinous act. Hold on a minute. So if from time to time the case gets publicity, but people keep shying away, and it's case forgotten, it's because people know very well that what happened will cause a lot of trouble if it came out. If anyone has any information about the case, blah blah blah, okay. So people connect her to the Munich Olympics and what happened, the Munich massacre. Okay. Then they connect her also, they connect the couple to drug trafficking. I mean, it's one thing to have suspicions, but it's a whole nother thing to come up with a scenario that's quite disturbing. Okay, this is a bit more of an extended article. Okay, before we continue, do you guys think this was a ritual? It could have been just a killing, but do you guys think it's a ritual? And if you think it was a ritual, was it a silencing ritual or a simply ritual? What do you think? All right. You can hear me? Okay, okay, you can hear me. That's good. Let me share the screen again. Um, so so let's read this. This is another article. Okay, so it's a bit more extended. So let's read it. Okay. On Thursday, September 29, 1984, the bodies of Maram and Roland Handel were found in their chalet in Jay, Vermont. Both had been shot multiple times. There were few clues, and the police seemed to hit a dead end early in the investigation. Okay. In the decade since the murder, there has been no arrest, no motive has been determined, and the case received very little media attention. 49-year 49-year-old Roland and 32-year-old Mariam Handel, ni Haridi. Wait, is Haridi not a Jewish last name? Okay, let me check that out. Um, so it's found in Africa too. Oh no, it's not Jewish, I believe, but anyway, it sounds Arabic or something in Middle Eastern origin. Okay. Okay, so she was a Canadian citizen from maybe Middle Eastern descent. So, okay. Okay, let's continue. Were married and moved on chalet on Grand Gendron Road, which Roland had built in 1981. Roland was from Germany, but has been splitting his time between Montreal, Quebec, and Jay, Vermont area since 1969. He sold his share of a plastics factory in Canada around the time the couple was married. Whoa, so this guy was involved in business. He sold a share of a company he was involved in. Mary was born in Egypt. Ah, I thought Middle Eastern, but had become a Canadian citizen and lived in Quebec before moving to Vermont. A friend of the Handels discovered the crime scene on the afternoon of Thursday, September 20, and investigators initially believed they had been killed several days earlier. Neighbors have heard the fatal gunshots, but couldn't be sure. The area was popular for hunting and bear season had recently started, so it was uncommon to hear shots throughout the day. The Hannels lived in the basement of their home and rented the upper floors, but there was no staying there at the time. What? Okay, this is a link to one of the newspaper articles you can see. Now let's read it also. By John Donnelly, Montpellier. Authorities searched for clues Friday in the apartment of cold-blooded murder of a J couple who were found dead Thursday in their northern Vermont chalet with multiple gunshot wounds. Orleans County State's Attorney Philip White identified the victims as Roland Hannell, 49, and Miriam Hannell, 32. They were married. To me, the multiple gunshot wounds indicate a relatively cold-blooded killing, White said Friday. With victims of multiple gunshot wounds, there's more of a likelihood of a calculated killing. Vermont State Police Sergeant Sid Adams said police found Roland Hannell in the living room on his stomach. He said Miriam Hannell was in the kitchen on her back. Both bodies had several wounds, he said. He did not know how the exact number of shots. It certainly was not the typical Vermont homicide, Adams said. Ordinarily, we see crimes of passion that got out of hand. This doesn't appear that way. Adams, with his station commander at the Derby barracks, said police have not yet determined a motive for the killing. He said there were several possibilities, but we declined to specify them. We interviewed quite a few people. He said, quite frankly, we have no suspects. Okay, okay. I thought I was find something more, but let's continue. But this thing is quite weird. Why would you live in the basement of your own house and rent the upper part? At the time of the killing, there was nobody stayed over there. Okay, let's continue. The last time the Hannels were confirmed to be alive was about 1 week before the murder. Okay, we already read that before. The medical examiner confirmed that Hannel had been dead for at least 24 hours. Okay. However, a second witness backed up the attendant's story, stating that she saw the couple at the gas station on Wednesday evening, leave investigators confused. They sometimes never determined. After 40 hours of autopsies, Dr. Paul Marrow, Vermont's deputy chief medical examiner at the time, determined that the Hannels had been shot between 8 and 11 times each. Okay? The type of gun could not be determined during autopsies, so the coroner did rule out a shotgun. What? I'm sorry, but this is a bit weird. According to Morrow, it could have been a semi-automatic weapon or handgun. There were no powder burns on the bodies, indicating the shooter was not standing very close to the couple. First of all, this means the shooter knew they were at home. Okay, so people that knew the shadow of the couple should be investigated. From the beginning, the police struggled to find a motive for the killings. Neighbors and friends described the couple as friendly, warm, and likable, and it seems they kept to themselves. As I told you guys, okay, I'm not telling you to get involved with everyone, go to everyone's house, all of that, but to keep to yourself too much, it can be dangerous. People must know about your whereabouts a little bit. Not everything, but don't be too private. It can work against you. Roland and a neighbor reportedly had a long-stand boundary dispute, but investigators did not think it led to the murder. And the neighbor was in Texas at the time. Okay, so there was a neighbor that a boundary dispute about where whose property ends and began, but the neighbor was in Texas. So okay, but just because he's in Texas doesn't mean you can't have someone else arrange to do it. But anyway, one J resident stated that some people in town were irked by Rowland, who could be assertive and opinionated. The police didn't rule anything out during the investigation, but also did not point to any particular suspect or spectacle about what led to the crime. Assertive and opinionated. Well, people from Germany, similar to the Netherlands, in general, we are taught to be direct about how we think and feel. And for people from the United States, this can be a bit, can feel a bit aggressive. Okay, this direct attitude. But okay, that may be the cultural difference. Now, 5 days before the handles were found, Lawrence Mace committed an armed robbery at the bank Londonderry, Vermont. Mace had escaped from prison in Tennessee earlier the year. Investigators considered the possibility that Mace had killed the Hannons, though there was no clear evidence connecting him to the crime. Mace was caught in Wyoming September 1985 and later pleaded guilty to the laundry bank robbery. He was never charged with any crimes connected to the Hannon homicide. So they thought maybe it was this guy, but then it wasn't him. 3 years after the murder, the FBI developed a psychological profile to suggest the Hannons knew the killer. According to the profile, the culprit had likely been to Hannon's Charlotte before and targeted the couple specifically. It also stated that he or she was in the same age group as Miriam and Roland, may have been using drugs or alcohol at the time of the murders, and possibly attempt to mislead police in their investigation. After the profile was released, there appears to have been very little media coverage of the murder until a 2000 article published by Caledonian Records, which shed some light on police leads had followed. Hold on a minute. The crime happened in 1984. And was very little media coverage in the year 2000. Let's count. That is 16 years. So in 16 years' time, people barely showed interest in solving the case. There has been speculation that the murder was tied to drug trafficking because Roland owned a boat in Florida, which he chartered for cruises. Accusation international terrorism also considered Merriam had worked for the 1972 Munich Olympics, at which 11 Israeli athletes and coaches were taken hostage and killed by Palestinian terrorists. None was ever found to connect the couple to the criminal activity or terrorism, and it appears both of these leads were rampant speculation with no real evidence to support them. Police had hopes the ammunition used in the crime would lead to suspects until they learned that it had been sold across the country and fit many different weapons. Pete Johnson, who was the lead detective on the case in the 1980s, told the Caledonian Records that he did not believe the killer lived in the J area and that the Hannons were fine, upstanding, honest people. Roland's daughter, Karen, speculated that a friend or ex-boyfriend of Merriam might have been the killer, which would explain Merriam opened the door for him. Karen did not name a specific particular person, and police have not publicly said if they have investigated the theory. Now, okay, there's not that much to be found anymore about this case. Also, I can't view it because I'm in the European Union. Okay, F this. What I'm saying is, when you look at this case, guys, you have a German man that moved to the United States. He had business in Canada and in the United States. United States, he had the boat he was chartering. He earned cash with that, and he had a business also in Canada. So he was a man with cash. Okay, he was not a broke guy. He built this chalet over there to live over there. He married this much younger woman. He had a daughter, so he had relationships before. Okay, we don't know what happened to those, but anyway, he married this woman, much younger than him, and this woman was from Egyptian origin, and she worked at a place in Munich during the Olympic Games of 1972, I believe. Okay, when she was much younger. Now, the question remains, why would you want to live so secluded? Okay, let's go here. I'm sorry to say, but this place over here is a bit secluded, all the forest around you. Now, I'm not saying that it's a crime if you want to live a bit in the rural area, but this is a bit a lot, if you get what I mean. This is quite far away. So question becomes, were they hiding for someone? Were they on the run? I mean, let's say now, okay, we have no proof, They're just speculation. But what if Roland was involved in drugs? In that case, he could just drive out of the country into Canada, get an airplane, and move elsewhere very quickly. But we don't know that for sure. Some suggested linked to international terrorism. Okay, what if this woman was suspected of being involved in a terrorist attack? Why don't you just report to the US authorities and have them arrest her or whatever? Okay? Look, based on what we found out till now, the couple's history itself is a bit off. Okay? Not the age difference. Sometimes men with cash marry women are younger than them. It happened throughout human history, even in biblical times, even like some of it in the Bible. So, okay, that's not the problem here. The issue is the location where they lived, so secluded. I mean, if you are a man with a lot of cash, why not live in deep in a city where you have all your business connections? Or if you have a business in Florida, why not live in Florida? Why so? See what I mean? Look, not everyone who dies is innocent. Again, I never knew the couple. I never will because they're dead. So I can't make full conclusion about them. But based on what we know till now, they look a bit suspicious, straight up. And this is what I want to teach you. When it comes to cold cases, just realize some of the victims of these cold cases were not innocent. Some of them were even controversial. Okay, if the cold case relates to a child, of course, the child was innocent. When dealing with adults, especially adults above age 25, and there's cash involved or whatever, you have to look deeper into what was going on over here. Now, again, I'm not sure whether this was a ritual or not, but if it was a ritual, it was a silencing ritual because it wasn't broadcasted. Okay, we don't even know the day they died. If there was a ritual, the details would be in your face continuously. Okay, we discussed several cold cases during this live stream. Is it clear to you now that cold cases are political sensitivities that each generation seeks to hide? Okay, listen, every generation has its scandals they don't want to own up to. Nobody wants to be associated with a scandal. Nobody wants to be associated with a situation that makes them look bad, makes them look worse. When it comes to scandals or bad situations, we want to stay away from it as much as possible, or we want to decline any involvement responsibility to it. I mean, this guy was a businessman, so he had business contacts. He had a daughter, so he had an ex-wife or an ex-girlfriend he had his daughter with. So he also had to know his former family-in-law. He knew people in the business world, knew people in Florida, people in Canada. So there was a whole social network around this guy. And he also had a social network in Canada, in the United States, and in Germany. Okay, so he had a social network on multiple continents, both in Europe and North America. None of his former business partners, none of his former investors, none of his relatives from Germany, nobody's making effort? Really? What about this woman? What about her Egyptian relatives? Okay? Okay, she became a Canadian citizen, but still, why is Canada not making more effort for this case? So understand this. Whatever's going on with that couple, it's something people don't want to find out, or something they want others to find out about. That's why it's still unsolved to this day, I'm telling you. So understand the following. People seldom tell you everything about themselves. Listen, if your parents used to dislike people, being negative towards other people when they were younger, and some of the people they were negatively vested against got into accidents and all of that, They're not going to feel comfortable that they triggered these things to happen to these people. So are they going to tell you about it? No, they're going to hide these things from you. If your parents were involved in facilitating bullying and scapegoating, and it later ended up some of these people took their own lives or whatever, you think they don't want you to know? No, they're going to keep this hidden, act like it's none of your business, and present you an image they want so you can look up to them. Your parents and grandparents and uncles or aunties, all that, they don't tell you everything. I guarantee you there are things related to you and your family, even your family members don't tell you. No, I'm not saying you're adopted or someone else was your father, all that. I'm not saying any of that. It could be that perfectly your dad was your dad and you were not adopted. No, I'm not talking about such intense things, but it could be that at some point your mother regretted having children because she just wanted to escape the marriage, all of that. And a lot of people heard about it and people keep it silent. Or it could be that your dad had left the family at some point, but he came back because the police was after him. So he tried to fulfill his parental responsibility, whatever. I don't know. I don't know I don't know your family. I don't know your family history on that. But listen, I'm sure there are some scandals or things that are not fun to look at that happened during with your parents, grandparents, all that they don't want you to know about. And there are things you may not tell your parents. So understand this. If even people in close families just to feel good about themselves and just because they don't want to be condemned for their past behavior. They don't share everything, not even with their own spouse. You mean to tell me the public is open about everything? No. These cold cases are the scandals they want to keep hidden. Simple as that. So this is much more common than you think. Thanks for making the yeah. You said the second case you showed was a bit more interesting indeed. Um, thanks for showing the connection with scripture, Aaron. Very much appreciated. Okay, are there any questions about the topic now? Let me know in the live chat. Let me know. Understand this that people in the world and even believers doing this, they tend to hide things. Okay, I'm not telling you that you should tell every little thing about yourself towards everyone. No, absolutely not. It's healthy and safe to keep some things about yourself hidden and to yourself. However, in the world, people go way too far. People will even fabricate histories just so you wouldn't figure out some weird thing they were involved with. Again, we're not here to condemn people for their past because nobody can change the past. We're here to call people out. If your past was horrible or dark, improve in the now. If you improve in the now, you account for the past, we can leave it behind us. But if you haven't improved, that means you're still perpetrating the darkness. Simple as that. Even if you stop the actual crime or horrible thing you were doing, if you haven't processed it by becoming a better human being today, that means the darkness is still ongoing. That needs to be dealt with. So when you see someone when you see a little child running in a supermarket, then you know, okay, the parents must be around somewhere, or the people looking after the child. You also know this child is here. So a few years ago, the child came out of a vagina, came out of his or her mother's womb. So that means two people had sex. Whether the sex was consensual or not, or it was controversial, we don't know. Anyway, sex happened, pregnancy happened, and the child was born. Well, you also have some children born through IVF, some IVF technology, but that's a rare. So when you see a child running around, you know, okay, parents must be nearby in the super here in the mall too, and people had sex. That's why the child is here. So are the people that who had sex are they on good terms now, or is it controversial because there was a married man cheating on his wife and the woman became pregnant, or was it someone sleeping with a minor? You don't know. Okay, You just know people had sex. You don't know whether sex was healthy or whether the relationship was good or not. You just know the sex happened and a child is born. So you can conclude there was sexual activity that led to this child. When you see a grown man or a grown woman, you need to understand this individual survives childhood. This individual learned a native language. This individual has relationships out there. If someone, if you come to someone in their 30s or 40s, they know they have a history now of adult relationships. An 18-year-old has no history of adult relationships. I don't just mean sexual relationships, just relationships in general with other people. A 30 or 40-year-old has a history of adult relationships in which they shape themselves. So, who are the people they hang out with, what do people identify with? Are his or her parents still alive? Learn to examine people when you encounter them. Don't just encounter people and take for granted on face value what you see. What are you dealing with? Okay? If it's a woman that's considered attractive according to beauty standards, they know she likely has a husband or a boyfriend, or she has a guy who's wanting her number all the time. Or if she's above 30, whatever, then she likely is already married or settled. If not, does she have children? Is she involved with someone? You see what I mean? So learn to examine people when you encounter them. Too often we take people as face value when we encounter them, and we need to stop doing that. We really need to stop doing that, you all right? Again, any other questions? Any question general about this topic? Let me see. I didn't get any question over here. Now, thank you all for being here. Keep on agreeing with Christ. Be at peace. Another thing, hit the like button, share this live stream, subscribe to the channel, become a member of the channel, check my novels on Amazon, and please donate in the links below. Very much needed and appreciated. Thank you very much. Till next time.